Public speaking is a thing that most people scare. Some even say that they rather to sit on electric chair rather than doing public speaking. I want to overcome that myself. That's why I sat down with Chris, the master of this thing, and asked for a few tips from him. The conversation was about 2 hours, and I'm gonna distill it into 3 tips for you to use. The first one is that have the right mindset. You come here today to make this presentation, to help people, to share your knowledge, and your intention is to solve a problem that they have. So even when your performance is not good, at least people get some value from it. The second one is that make it simple. The first version of my keynote was jam-packed with information and then terms and quote from books that I read. I was so proud of it because I was able to flex my knowledge. And also Chris told me that the easiest way for me to start to do this thing is to do the 10 tips. But when I do a trial version with my friends, she did not understand it. When I think again, most of the audience that I'm going to talk to, they will not be able to digest all of this knowledge at once. So the way you should do is to have one single goal for your talk. Then whenever you present a new idea, try to relate it to the goal that you have to stay relevant. The third tip is to make people involved with your presentation. You can say something like, imagine yourself doing this and doing that. That makes people have to start to involve with your presentation. That make them think, make them have to wander around with your story. You have to spread out your emotions so that people can feel it too. The more they feel it, the more attention they will pay to your talk. So here's my talk, if you want to have a look. Hello guys, it's good to see you guys here today, and thank you guys for spending the time and coming here today, because you know what? I wouldn't. It's so cold out there, you know? Just a little bit of information. This is my first time doing public speaking, so therefore if it's gonna be suck or it's gonna be bad, then please don't judge me, because all I want to do is to bring you guys as much value as possible today. I'm gonna talk a little bit fast because I only have 20 minutes, so you guys might want to wrap your phone because we're gonna fly through this. Amazing, we do things on time, okay? Okay, yes. So what are we going to talk about today? We're going to talk about how to not lose your business, or how to run a successful company. And this is the sentence I heard a lot of people say, is that I have a really high quality product. I think my business is gonna be good. But the reality is that after 1 or 2 years, they close the business. And the crazy number is that 85% of businesses close in the first year of running. And then the next 10% more close in the next 5 years. So a question for you guys to think about. Why do some companies succeed while others fail? What makes them so different? Because you guys are here, so I think you guys have an entrepreneurial mindset. And me too. I want to be an entrepreneur too. And this is a true story. 2 years ago, me and my friends, one of my friends in America and in Vietnam, we decided to team up and then open a coffee shop that's selling sneakers in Vietnam, and it's 69 sneakers. We spent so much money on it. I think that because this idea is the first one that happened that have in Vietnam, therefore we were really excited about it. And then I spent all of my money on it, and the total amount is around that number, 10,000. I still remember that there were days I only have like €5 in my bank account. I have to eat whatever it left on my fridge. And I even go to my friend's house to sleep because I don't want to pay and I don't have money at that time. And then I work for 6 hours, 6 days a week. Oh, yeah. I do that on purpose, so. At weekend, on Sunday, I try to work with my friend, help them as much as possible. You see me here with the crazy hair, but I don't have that hair right now, so don't worry. And then we were running it for like 6 months. There were many ups and downs, and then there was a lot of pain as well. One of the pain that I have was that I work so much, and then I actually have a pain injury when I was working. And I still remember at that time, I would feel so hurt that I cried in the elevator at that time. But that is not the most painful experience for me.
the most painful experience was that I have to close my business. I have to close the coffee shop because at that time, the money that we sell shoe or sneaker wasn't enough to pay the rent of the building, of the place. And then the money that we sell coffee wasn't enough to cover the salary of the employee. I lost all of that money. I realized one thing is that when the money is not coming enough, the whole business begins to fail. And I want to know how can a successful business can sustain themselves. So that is my quest for life. And after doing a lot of research, reading and learning from my boss, which is Tristo, he's a really talented guy. He has been helping a tons of people, like nearly 1 million people learn how to make money. So I started to see some clue. And here are the key points for you guys. Okay, so in order to have consistent flow of money for your business, these are the two things that I'm gonna cover. First is that you need to get the customer. The second one is you need to turn them into loyalty fan. And let's talk about the first one, okay? How to get the customer. The reason why some companies are more successful than others is not that they have a good product. It's not, they are not even the one that has been doing it the longest. But what they do know is marketing, okay? So a lot of people are gonna ask me right now, like, but do I actually need marketing? Why do I need marketing? So here's my answer. Actually, it's not my answer. It's Thomas Watson's answer. He's the guy from IBM, and he said that nothing happens until a sales is made. A good product or a good service is just a tool that you can keep people back to you. But before you think about customer satisfaction or customer retention or something, you need to think about customer acquisition, which is marketing. So what is marketing anyway? So here is a typical ad that I found on the internet right now. It's all about like my place, my clothes, myself, my thing. It's all me. So it's not something that related to me. It's not something that I can, get value from. It's all about them. They're just talking about themselves. And marketing is not a license for you to spam order, okay? But it is an opportunity for you guys to serve. So how do you serve them? The way that you can do that is doing content marketing or making content for the people. And how do you do that is that you need to find the gap and then fill it. The gap here is that something that is missing in their customer, in your customer life right now. What is the missing piece? What is the thing that they want? So the question is, how do you find your gap? Okay, so here are the things that you can do to find your gap. Is that ask this question: who are they? What do they hope and fear? What makes them up at night staring at the ceiling? Who do they want to become? What change do they seek to make? And think about that and then ask yourself, what are the things that you, yourself, the business, you guys can do to solve the problem? What piece of content is valuable to them? I'm speaking as a, because I'm a content creator. So I'm looking at this problem in my aspect of content creator. So it's quite biased, but I'm just trying to help. So, because when you can answer this question, then you know them so well, you will know how to reach them. And the whole goal of marketing should be acquire customer by creating values so that they know you, like you, and trust you. And after they trust you, of course, they're gonna buy from you, right? So that's bring me to my next point of my talk, which is build deeper and personal experience for your customer. People don't fall in love with corporation. Anybody know why? Oh, then I'm just keep going. So what do people fall in love with then?
The brand.
A brand, okay. People. Yeah, that's right. So my answer is that people fall in love with those who care about them, right? Yeah, so, and when you talk about customer, they are just not like normal people, but they are individual with hopes and dreams, with need and emotion. So this is another question I want to ask you guys too. And right now, even though that we are connected to like multiple social network, and then we have a lot of ability to connect with a lot of people, but do you feel lonely sometimes? That's you. Because sometimes I have something that I want to say, but I don't know who to talk to. I feel like I need someone, In reality right now, when we think of a product or a service, we have countless choices when it's come to a product. We have multiple ways that we can buy. We don't need to wait in line to buy a product anymore. So we are shifting from I need stuff to I want an experience. I want a connection with people, right? And a good company is the one that willing to do something that is deep and personal to their customer. So what should we focus on? What should we change? Here's my question. Here's my answer. We need to stop selling and start celebrating. We need to stop punishing and start protecting them. And because in the customer service, there is one sentence that I really like, is that if you do something good, they tell one person. But if you upset them, they tell 20. So you see, is that true? What do you guys think about that? Is that true, right? Because I remember all the time that somebody, upsetting me, and whenever I meet someone, no, don't go to that place. It sucks. Oh my God, you shouldn't go there. Yeah, so that's the case. So the next point is that don't try to get more customer. Instead, try to build more audience. The reason why is that every company has customer, but a few companies have an audience. Why is it the case? Because if you have customer, you have to pay them in order for you to get their attention, their time. But however, if you have an audience, they will happily give their time and attention for you. So you don't have to run Facebook ad, you don't have to find a way to spam them anymore, right? So try to get audience, try to build an audience. And how do you build an audience? For my research, and I was doing a lot of learning about that, and this is what people want. People want to see what behind closed door. People want to see the secret. People want to see like how do they make the product. So give them the behind the scene. Tell them, show them how do you make the product for them. And then do something for them. Do something, just something. It doesn't have to be big, because the little things are the things that people will remember about. You don't have to, put your time and effort, too much time and effort. You just need to know a little bit, then do it. So here is the conclusion. Here's the end of my talk. Okay. So in order to not lose your business, you need money coming into your business. And you can do that by two things. First is get more customer by doing the right kind of marketing, by creating something that they would love to see, that they would love to read, that they would love to watch. So when they trust you enough, they will buy from you and they come to you, right? And the second thing is that you need to turn them into loyal fans. And when you can do that in a really personal level, people will come back to you. And when they come back to you, they will buy more from you and you get money. And when you have money, you can run your business. You will not lose your business. That's the whole thing. Okay, so if there's one takeaway that I want you guys to have from this talk today, is that you need to understand your audience. And then you can do that by doing these things. First, talk more to your customer. The second one is understand deeply who they are. And then three is that fill in this empathy chart. Like you guys can take an imagination piece of paper and then fill in this gap. Your customer, what do they think and feel? What do they say and do? What do they hope and fear? And what do they see and hear? When you can feel this drop, and then the last thing is, this is the last thing, guys. Stop procrastinate and start taking action, okay? You see? And then, anybody who know who this guy is? This guy is Gary Vaynerchuk, right? Everybody knows, right? So, this is what he say. Idea are bullshit, execution is the game. With that being said, thank you guys for listening to my talk. I wish you have a great time tonight.
That is the end of my talk, but if there is one thing that I want you guys to take away from this video is that make it simple. Make the problem you're trying to solve obvious. You need to make people aware of this problem for them to stay focused on your speech. Then, based on that problem, you're gonna have to explain the 3 steps that they need to take in order to get the result that they want. Thank you for watching this video. I hope that is helpful for you, and try to make your talk simpler, and I'll see you in the next video.